Brought to you by Kellogg's, the folks who give you the widest choice of cereals in the whole wide world. All the great grains in the forms you like best. Yours from Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of Broadway's hit show Once More with Feeling, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now I've got a secret. The gentleman I'm about to introduce is soon to be seen in the best comic performance I have ever seen in my cluttered lifetime in an enormously funny picture, Billy Wilder's Some Like It Hot, Mr. Jack Lemmon.
I'm a little overcome.
You won't be.
Thank you. I have great respect for that. Very flattering. Ladies and gentlemen, the leading lady of the Fourth Estate, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Now, it's my pleasure to introduce someone you all expect and love, I think, the president of Random House, Bennett, Cerf.
Now here's our panel moderator, who has something very much in common with a very tough judge in San Francisco that I read about today. They both believe in very long sentences. John Charles Daly.
You see, Bennett goes off on a vacation, and this sort of thing begins to happen right off the bat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. Some very nice people, once again, have brought some very interesting occupations, with which we hope to give the panel a rough evening of it, all in a nice way, of course. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger after this. Let's meet our first contestant. Will you come in and sign in, please? Right there. Robert Reinhardt, right? Where are you from, Mr. Reinhardt?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Well, you've come a long way, and it's nice of you to have done so. You ought to meet the panel, will you, Mr. Reinhardt? Panel?
Yeah.
Will you join me over here, please? You know how we keep score, Mr. Reinhardt?
Yes, I do.
In that event, let's let the people here in the audience, in the theater, and the folks who are watching at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, Mr. Reinhardt is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning by putting the vacationer back to work immediately. Bennett, Cerf.
Mr. Reinhardt, I take it you're no relation of the publisher, Reinhardt. I can eliminate that, can't I?
No.
You're a very big, husky fellow. Does your work involve any physical dexterity?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Mr. Reinhardt, is there a product connected with what you do?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Lemmon.
Oh, then I take it you deal in services.
Yes.
Would I avail myself of your services?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Would it be possible for anyone in this theater to avail? I don't mean anyone in the general sense. I mean any specific person in this theater to avail himself or herself
Oh, yes.
of your services. Would it be likely to be a member of the female persuasion?
Yes.
You haven't seen Mr. Lemmon's picture, or you wouldn't have said no to him.
Would your services be engaged for some special occasion?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Reinhardt, I'd like to get one thing cleared up. Do you work for a profit-making organization?
Oh, yes.
Would you say that the service that you perform makes the person on whom you perform it either more beautiful or healthier?
Yes.
Would it be healthier by any chance?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, in that case, thank you, Bennett. It must be that you in some way beautify some member of the female sex.
Yes.
Do you beautify them from the neck up?
Yes.
Could you also beautify them in some way from the neck down?
Yes.
Sounds like a handy little job you have. Do you in any way touch these people?
No.
That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Lemmon.
Well, in that case, do you use an object in your work? In other words, you do not use your hand specifically touching the people, and therefore you must use something in your work that touches the people?
I see what you mean. Yes. Well, that'll be no. That's 7 down and 3 to go. Now, I would say one cautionary word, panel. We accept here that these questions are asked in terms of the norms of contact between human beings. That in doing a job, you might come in contact, but it isn't, in this case, mandatory or vitally necessary to the performance of the service. Miss Kilgallen.
Would you agree, Mr. Reinhardt, that if you were a makeup man, you would touch the person you made up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you are not a makeup man?
No.
Do you act in any educational or advisory capacity which makes people more beautiful?
Yes.
Do you advise women on either how to do their hair or how to dress or how to make up?
Yes.
Would you be considered a beauty consultant?
Yes.
What
else do I have to do?
Well, actually, Dorothy, I can understand your question. That isn't the specific title. I think the best way to settle is to flip the rest of the
I'd
card.
love to go on.
Well, I think you've got it, really, but I think the specific title might take us a long time to get to. When you really got to the nub of it, Mr. Reinhardt runs a charm school for women and counsels them in all of the many areas. And one thing that'll interest all of you is that you have 4, I believe, don't you, Bob? You've managed 4, and you call it the Loretta Young Way.
That's right.
Because Bob, if I may, Bob's mother and Miss Young, Loretta Young, started these schools, and then you took them over when your mother became ill.
That's right.
And here he is running a charm school. And where did you play football?
With the Toronto Argonauts.
With the Toronto Argonauts. Now he's running a charm school.
What is the Loretta Young Way, Mr. Reinhardt?
Pay your money and find out, Arlene.
I hope you noticed that the 2 girls on our panel don't need any of your services.
That's very true.
It is so. In 1956, as one final biographical note on Robert, he was the 3rd-ranking passer in college football, I believe, weren't you?
That's right.
So congratulations on a very varied and interesting career. All right, panel. Very good. That was a tough one, and you hit it on the nose rather quickly. Let's see what you can do with the second challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss Kuykendall, may I merely observe that spring is around the corner? That explains all this, I think. Where are you from, Miss Kuykendall?
Waco, Texas.
Waco, Texas? Well, golly. Miss Kuykendall, the panel, Miss Kuykendall, will you join me over here, please? And tell me, do you know how we keep score, Miss Kuykendall?
Yes.
All righty, if you know how we keep score, let's let the audience in the theater and good folks at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, I will tell you that Miss Kuykendall is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning at the other end of the line with Miss Arlene Francis.
Miss Kuykendall, you work for a profit-making organization, don't you?
No, ma'am. I
You don't?
That's wonderful.
Crazy!
1 down and 9 to go. Jack Lemmon.
Are you in orbit? Do you deal in services?
Yes.
Might I avail myself of your services?
Yes, you could.
Would I benefit from those services?
I don't believe you would.
I would.
Don't think so.
No, I would, if with your permission, Miss Kuykendall, I would say within the normal terms of reference of the program, we would agree that if Mr. Lemmon was the happy recipient of your services, we would judge that all going well, he would be the better for
Yes,
the
you would.
service.
I see. In performing your services, do you come in physical contact?
Yes, I do.
You do. Let me say, are these services that I might be able to perform also as well as you could?
No,
That's-
don't be good.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
I just can't think of anything that Jack couldn't do for a non-profit-making organization. Miss Kirkendall, is this non-profit-making organization any branch of any government?
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, that kind of threw me off, Miss Kuykendall. Your work is in Wake. Do you perform your service in Waco, Texas, or thereabouts?
Yes, I do.
Is it a service that might be performed equally well in any other part of the country?
Yes, sir.
Is it done usually indoors?
Yes, sir.
And might you represent some educational or medical unit in some way?
Yes, sir.
Now, which one is it? Well, medical, possibly?
What'd you say, Bennett?
Medical unit?
You want to leave that question as the medical unit?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
It is a medical unit. Thank you, John.
That's all right.
You're a big help. Do you wear, for this performance of this service, Miss Kuykendall, some kind of a uniform?
Yes, sir.
Would it be a white one sometimes?
We have to have a conference. I'm awfully sorry.
John's about to have the treatment.
Sometime I wear white.
Would you possibly be classified in the category of nurses or doctor's assistants?
Yes.
In the general category which you named, yes.
Well, you are a nurse of some kind,
Yes.
but a special kind of nurse that we have to dig out. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You perform your service for human beings.
Yes, sir.
Would it be more for men than for women?
Just eat one.
Just say no to that. That's 4 down and 6 to go.
I think, did you ask, does she perform it more for men than for women?
She said no.
Well, she's crazy. Did you say even? Even,
Well,
Stephen?
let us say that
You
this
do as
would-
much for one as the other?
That's right.
That's nice.
The presupposition is that the service is there available for both sexes without
You
any
know, when
benefit to
somebody
one
is a
over the
nurse,
other.
John, it seems to me that it is a nurse in any capacity. Why, is this a special kind of nurse? That,
Let me say that we would have to agree that Miss Kuykendall is basically a nurse to the degree that she has had a nurse's training and has practiced nursing. However, she has refined the science, or that part of the science of medicine in which she participates. You have to find the speciality, as we say in restaurant world.
well, do you work in a laboratory?
No.
That makes it 5 down and 5 to go.
All right,
Mr. Lemmon.
John.
I think it was probably established in my rattled mind, because I haven't been listening as much as looking, but it has been established that there is physical contact.
Yes, that has been
is true.
established.
In this contact, do you physically touch with your hands a specific part of the body, usually?
No, wait a minute.
Any old part in a storm.
I think, I do think once in a while. I think we have to give you a no, since you went to a specific part of the anatomy as a necessary part of the question. Miss Kilgallen, 6 down and 4 to go.
Do you ever administer drugs?
Yes.
Are you ever to be found?
We know what part of the body that is.
Arlene.
I must say one thing, Miss Scott. You've got the panel more conflagrated than anybody has for a long time.
Miss Kuykendall, Are you ever in the operating room?
Yes.
Are you an anesthetist?
Yes! And now a brief word of explanation. Actually, Miss Kuykendall is an anesthetist at Providence Hospital in Waco. She was actually initially a nurse and then took up the study of special study as an anesthetist afterwards and has become an anesthetist. Yes, Mr. Kilgallen.
Well, I just thought that she'd be able to anesthetize them without the use of drugs.
I've been watching Jack Lemmon here for the last 10 minutes and figured she'd done it. Well, I must say we've had a lot of fun with your visit and hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. It was nice to have you with us, Miss Kuykendall. Now, we'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which I ask my friends on the panel to blindfold themselves. Blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, John.
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? Well, it looked like spring, summer, and winter all arrived with a bang then. Well, panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we use a different form of questioning. One question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and let's begin it all with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you a curvaceous blonde?
Well, no, I don't think I would say that.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
That kind of roar usually comes from my kids when there's some kind of a Western program on TV. Have you ever done any work in Westerns of any kind?
Yes, I would say I had done that, yes.
Miss Francis?
Are you a comedian?
Well, I've done some comedy, yes. Mm-hmm.
But I would give you...
People laugh.
I'd give you a particular note of that answer. Our guest has certainly done comedy and done it magnificently, but I don't want you to be misled in your reference to him. Mr. Lemmon.
Well, if obviously it's a very well-known star, and he's an entertainer to talk like that, and he has done comedy magnificently, but not specifically. Have you therefore played both comedy and drama in motion pictures, let's say, primarily? Yes, that I have. I have.
Miss Kilgallen.
All right, are you married to a curvaceous blonde?
Yes, I would say she's...
You'd better.
No, I retract that statement.
You retract
I retract that statement.
All right, we'll flip a card then.
What part did he
What
retract?
part do you retract?
Well,
She's
actually...
not curvaceous, so she's not a blonde.
I retract the blonde. That's what I retract. The curvaceous is still there, I'll tell you that.
Well, I might as well get off my mind what I think. Have you got anything to do with a program called Maverick?
Well, now, Bennett.
No, huh?
No, I don't know, you... No! I look at it.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Have you been or are you about to be part of a television series?
No, I wouldn't say that, no.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Lemmon.
Do you have a motion picture that is opening currently? Now, let's say a motion picture or a show of some sort, comedy? Yes, I have one that is going to open. That's why I'm here.
An honest man, Miss Kilgallen.
Have you got dark, wavy hair?
Well, it's wavy and it's kind of dark, yes.
What?
It's wavy and it's kind of dark. Okay. Mr. Cerf?
Is the picture that you're going to star in going to open this week along Broadway?
No, it opens on the 19th. As a matter of fact, it's taken you so long, I thought I'd get it in before before we got off here, and I wouldn't get it in at all,
I got it.
I wish I knew what this voice was.
Miss Francis?
Well, Mr. Lemmon feels he has it. I'm going to pass it to him, or the picture will open before we get the show off the air.
No, I just have a hunch from everything adding up and small shaggy dog and everything, and someone said you were in town. Fred MacMurray?
That's right.
Julie, come on, show him your hair so Dorothy doesn't think I'm a liar.
Mrs. MacMurray.
All right, I'm not blind.
It does seem like we were talking about a picture, the name of which, and it will open on the 19th, is the
19th of March.
19th of March,
After-
the Shaggy Dog.
Made by Walt Disney.
Made by Walt Disney. It ought to be wonderful, Fred.
We got the plug in, didn't we?
We got
Good.
the plug in. But I must say, we got it in with great delicacy. I think we both
Thank
be
you.
proud of
I'm-
it. It's wonderful. All right, we'll have another contestant after this word from our alternate sponsor. And now let's see what we can do with the final contestant. Will you come in and sign in, please? Right there, please. Olga Vank. Is that right? Miss or Mrs.? Mrs. Vank. And where are you from?
Well, I'm actually from Hamburg, Germany, but I'm living now in Jackson Heights.
Lucky Jackson Heights. Mrs. Vank, panel, Mrs. Vank, will you join me over here, please? Do you know how we keep score?
Yes, I do.
Fine, then we'll just let the folks out here in the audience and those who are nice enough to be looking in at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we're a little bit short of time, so I will tell you very quickly that Mrs. Vank is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Jack Lemmon.
Do you deal in a product?
Yes.
You do. Would I use this product?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Would any human being use it?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs. Vank, I must say, you're the prettiest thing that's been on this show since Claudette Colbert. I mean that.
Thank you.
Is this
Spring
product...
is just busting out all over tonight.
Is the product that you are connected with used in any kind of military action?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Is the product used in any way in relationship to animal life?
Yes.
Is it an animal that would be found on land rather than in the water? I mean, maybe he could get in the water, but I mean...
On land.
What was that?
Be more likely to be found on land than in the water, yes.
Uh-huh. Is it likely not to be found in the air?
Is it likely not to be found in the air? The answer to that would be not.
No.
No, rather, not.
Be found in the air. Well,
That's
my
4
dear,
down.
it flies.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Lemmon.
Well, is this product then, I hope, for domestic animals?
Domestic. I don't think we can call it domestic,
No,
do you?
I don't
No.
think
We
so.
make it 5
No.
down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, is it for the birds?
Now, please, Miss Kilgallen. Not for the birds. That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Cerf. We got time for about...
Mrs. Vank, is it for four-legged animals?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
Now, we want to do it very fast, and I don't want to use up time.
In fact, you just used it up. That's it. We flipped the cards, and we just ran out of time. Now, this is a very tricky one. I don't know whether you'd have gotten it, because Mrs. Vank mounts butterflies for the Museum of Natural History, and they're then subsequently used for display and also scientific study. So that was a tough one, and you made a lovely guest, as Mr. Cerf has noted, and thank you for joining us on What's My Line. Well, panel, I must say, time defeated you on the last one, but you were brilliant otherwise tonight. And on that very good note, this is John Daly saying good night, Miss Arlene Francis.
Good night, Mr. John Daly, and Mr. Jack Lemmon, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you, dear. Good night, Arlene. Good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Jack. Good night, Bennett.
You know, there's a word for a person who mounts butterflies, and I'm sure John's going to tell you what it is. John?
A lepidoptist.
Right.
You see, Bennett publishes a dictionary. This makes him very difficult to get along with sometimes. Thank you, Bennett and panel. And, Jack, it's nice to have you with us, and we hope you enjoyed your visit. And thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us on What's My Line?
Transportation for contestants on What's My Line is arranged by United Airlines. What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. This is Hal Sims speaking.